Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we're going to do a character guide on Machina, and this is updated with his force weapon. I'm going to tell you all this right now. I kind of was looking at his new upgrades and stuff before doing the guide, and I'm getting pretty darn excited. I think he's actually going to be very fun, and his FR is going to be ridiculous with some team comps. So I feel bad because I know I've been telling y'all not to pull and save for anniversary, which I still recommend. I feel like I'm going to make it very hard for a lot of people to do that because I think he's going to look pretty darn spectacular in this showcase. And I'm not going to lie, I think he's going to be pretty darn crazy. But if you're low on resources, you still probably want to save for anniversary. But let's check out our boy Machina because I'm pretty excited about him. And he's always been one of my favorite characters in the game anyways. So I do have a little bit of personal bias there, right? So in this video, let's look at his calls, his artifacts, and his spheres. For those of you unfamiliar with Machina, he's a very cool, versatile character because he is a ridiculous damage dealer, but he has a lot of utility in that he sets up a debuff that allows him to do off-turn damage. So like, he himself will like proc additionals, and then when enemies take turns, he'll get additionals that can do a lot of damage, which is very good. He has an attack that can like spam free turns out. He has a lot of instant turn rate, high turn rate skills. Just a very, very good character. Like he's fun, right? And he has a ridiculous BT effect that gives him like one of the more busted HP plus attacks in the game, which we're gonna see. And he's a BTFR character, so he's a beefy boy. And you'll see my build. This is gonna be a full invest maxed out Machina. The one thing I will say with Machina going into this, he's not a low invest character. He's a character that if you're going to use him and want to use him properly, you want to green, not just have the BT, you want to green the BT because his BT effect is so important to his kit. And he's a character where you're going to want to be able to do that twice. Or you're going to want to be able to, basically you want to be able to use the green BT attack. You need his BT effect up before going into burst phase. So you need to have it green to be able to do that. And then through the burst phase, you're going to be using it. And then you're going to refresh it and you'll have it after the burst phase as well, right? So let's look at his calls first. So his calls aren't anything crazy. His 15 is called Cyclone Drive. The one thing here is, let me just double check here. Okay, no, this one does not. Yeah, so this is just like basically crit damage up. Nothing too crazy, right? And then the LD one applies his Spiral Linchpin debuff, which is what enables like the follow-ups and stuff. So that's pretty cool that the enemies would have that on there. But it's basically just like a speed down. And actually on the call, because it's just a call, I don't think he would actually proc the additional. So I think it's just a speed down. So Machina, don't worry about the call. Like you're not using them for the call. You're using them for like in the party to be a ridiculous monster beast, right? And that's what we're hopefully going to see in this video. So you can see my build here. Maxed ultimate weapon, blue armor, force enhanced 30, everything maxed out, right? Artifacts. So this guy is primarily a damage dealer. He's got a little bit of tankiness in there too, but he's pretty much just a damage dealer. Can be fairly speedy, right? So as a damage dealer, you want attack 108 and his C50 passive, which is dual wielding star pupil burst, which is going to be max brave and attack. Attack is just like super important on this guy. You want to dump as much attack into him as possible. Yes, he's a damage dealer, so by default you want attack, but he has parts of his kit that scale even further on attack, so attack is just exemplified even more. So when we talk about like the key stats, right, which are like attack, brave damage, and max brave, attack is a little bit more important. I would say brave damage is too. This guy does a lot of brave hits. So having extra brave damage definitely helps, but if you have to choose one or the other, I say always choose attack with this guy, right? Let's go ahead and look at the spheres here. Now, I did something a little bit different with my spheres. There could be ways to optimize it more, but before I talk about the A slot, I'm actually going to talk about the B slot. So the B slot's kind of unique here, because he is like a big-time damage dealer. The B slot is a tanking sphere. So the thing with Machina having a B slot, he doesn't fit the mold of a lot of B slot characters that like want to take damage or do or like evade, right? Like things that tanks do. He doesn't really do those, so he's harder to proc the B spheres. So really, like Gabranth and Celis are kind of known as the two like universal, easy to use spheres. Gabranth you'd go with if you want to reduce the brave damage that your party takes, which is pretty decent, right? But I think Celis is hands down the best B slot to use here. Celis is a brave gain sphere, scaled off of your eye brave, anytime you trigger an ability, okay? Now, what you're going to see with Machina is he triggers abilities a lot, and he does a lot of dumps. And the key to making those dumps look good is a lot of Brave gaining. So I think Celesphere is actually very key to helping him with the Brave gains, right? Now, keep Celesphere in mind when I talk about Machina Sphere. So Machina Sphere, by default, you wouldn't say is the best one. It's attack and Brave, right? Now, attack, for sure, good. And if you're getting at least 10% or higher attack, I would say any sphere with 10% or higher attack you're good to go with. Ideally, you would want attack max Brave combo or attack Brave damage combo is ideally what you want. But I kind of like Machinas here if you're going to use Celes, because the Celes sphere scales on Brave, and this is giving me a little bit more Brave, which is going to help my Brave gain during all the ridiculous attacks and dumps. Like, his attack does, like, literally seven separate attacks with Brave damage and dumps. So, having this, I think, will actually help with the overall damage. And then the other one is just an example. Like, Prompto isn't, like, best in slot or anything, but it's just an example of one of the many Max Brave attack, Max Brave attack combos you could do. Sephiroth and Yang are also excellent choices. Jack Sphere is an excellent choice because that's a Brave damage attack combo. Just, there's so many, right? Just the big thing to look at, guys, is prioritize attack. And then the secondary one, go for Max Brave or Brave damage, right? Now, if you're kind of being cheeky like me and doing a little of this Brave stuff, I think Machina's own with that little Brave definitely doesn't hurt, because Brave does help with Brave gain, right? All right, so with that, let's hop into the showcase. Excited to show this man off. By the way, I actually kind of like his, I've got his FR weapon skin. I kind of like it. It's like the glowing drills. Okay, so let's go ahead and, here's the thing. I'm very scared because I am hopping into my very easy, like the first Shinryu fight. These enemies are not going to be very tanky. I'm worried I'm not going to be able to show off the whole thing, but I'm going to try. We'll try. I'm going to try to get into his burst like pretty quick here, because these enemies are just going to melt away. Now, I do intend to do a separate showcase on him, probably on Ultimisia's fight, because I think he's going to look pretty nasty in there, but I want to make that a separate video. So, if we don't get to see him go like super ham in this video, just keep in mind I'm going to try to do another one. But I did set up like a pretty super ham team comp here, because what you're going to find is characters like Core actually operate super well with Machina once we get into it. So, let's start by putting Oath of Absolute Defense on our boy here. Okay. And then we are going to go ahead and EX. That's the basic Core start. Alright, so Machina is a character that has like a definite way you want to start, and you want to open with LD. So we are, even though he starts with EX, that's really tempting, you gotta open with LD because there's a very important buff you're going to get. Oh, I forgot to set a skill order. Okay, so the FR's going to be chilling way at the bottom. I just got to keep that in mind. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to do Stunning Slash, which is the LD. I just want to see the damage here after his rework. This is going to be crazy. Like, and this isn't even like nearly his best attack. What's he doing on this? And then there's the follow-up. Okay, so yeah, 800k AoE. So let me explain what happened there. So Stunning Slash is a free instant turn. So, sorry, not free, but it's an instant turn, so he can just spam it. So we did that. It's an AoE attack, and it gives him a buff called Piercing Power that lasts 16 turns, so that's definitely going to last a while. Attack up, Max Brave, and Brave gains up. Brave gains up is important because he does a lot of dumps. HP damage and Overflow stolen up, Brave damage up, and then when he breaks a target or attacks a broken target, he gets an extra Brave damage and HP damage up. So it's a pretty loaded buff. But the other thing, the important thing he does is he does the Spiral's Linchpin debuff for 8 turns on the enemies. What happens with Spiral's Linchpin is anytime Machina attacks an enemy that has it, or an enemy that has it attacks the party, Machina is going to follow up with that secondary attack that we just saw, right? Which is very good. Just adds on extra damage. So on top of Machina being like an insane damage dealer, he's also got like kind of a little bit of the off-turn tank ability where he's doing all that damage when attacking or when he gets attacked, which is really cool, right? Now after this, you're kind of free to go, but what happens after the LD, you get a free skill use. I recommend you hop into Awakening. Awakening is just a free instant turn. So what's going to happen is because it's got the free turn on it, it's going to be free and instant, and we get the Spiral's Linchpin follow-up, and like 500k with 300k, right? Now that attack wasn't that crazy, but that's a very spammable, repeatable attack, right? And once again, we haven't even touched on the insane damage yet. So Awakening, it's literally just that attack with the free turn, and then we got Spiral's Linchpin because of the debuff, gives him an Awakening buff for 10 turns. The Awakening buff is a huge attack up, 140%, so you want to upkeep that. Max Brave up 100%, and then a speed up, right? So just some generic buffs, but something you definitely want to upkeep, right? Now from here, we can kind of just showcase some other attacks that he's got in his kit. So let's do the EX Guardian Blades. And then with Luna Freya, I think I'm just going to just force charge right up and do the wombo combo. Alright, so once again, we're getting the Spiral's Linchpin follow-up with everything we do. And yeah, basically a mill AoE for just the EX press. Very, very good. It gives him the Guardian Blades buff. So if we look at the Guardian Blades buff, it's a Max Brave up, a Brave regen. And here's the thing. The Brave regen on Guardian Blades does scale on iBrave. So just another spot where iBrave is a factor. So I think Machina Sphere, especially if you got Celis, you're getting the Guardian Brave iBrave and you're getting the Celis iBrave. I think it is worth it to put that Machina Sphere on. And then Brave damage taken minus 30%. And then here's the thing. Machina also just has a straight up counter. Like not the Spiral's Linchpin counter, but he has a straight up other counter that he gets when he is specifically attacked. So is the A enemy, okay, the A enemy's targeting core. I was going to say it'd be nice to get him targeted. I could have put a lock call on him, but at some point in the video, we may see Machina get targeted. But what I think is going to happen is once we start the FR combo, the enemies are going to be incinerated. But just know, he does even pack a counter. So he's got off turn, he's got counter, he's got instant turn shenanigans, and he's going to be doing some insane damage as we're going to see in a minute. All right, so let's start. Oh, and then sorry, with the Guardian Blades here, I just want to double check where we're at. Yeah, the Guardian Blades buff, I think I went over, yeah, we went over all that, but it enables the counter, right? And so the counter is just like a small Brave HP attack, but it's extra damage, right? And once you find out what his force does, it's going to make a huge difference. So let's go ahead and start with a quick prayer just to get Machina set up. And yeah, we're going to go wombo combo and just get into it. And we do want to get into it fast because like I said, I think these enemies are going to go pretty melty on us here. So let's do LD. We're just going to force charge for days. And the enemies still have a lot of HP, so we're good. We haven't like dented them too bad yet. They're above 90%. So we'll definitely take that. So we'll do the energy heal while it's free. I'm probably going to loop a couple of LDs here. So I think, yeah, and I don't think I'm going to do like, yeah, I'm just going to keep energy healing. And we'll probably just do a couple of LD cycles here. Energy heal. Because I think with Machina, literally all I need to do is I just need, and obviously you could set up more optimally. I just want to make sure, do we still have Oath? Okay, we still have, the thing is he can burn through the Oath pretty quick, right? 3 turns of Oath should be fine, because within that, I should be able to start his burst phase, and then that's going to stick, right? So let's just energy heal a few times. I think I'm going to LD ramp again. Yep, let's just LD ramp again. I think I do want to get Luna's BT effect up to make him look really spicy. Okay, let's go ahead and energy heal. Okay, and let's get the Luna BT effect up. We'll do that. Remember, the Luna BT effect basically adds an extra turn onto her quick and heavy prayer buffs, which is very good. So what I'm going to do, I should still have heavy prayer buff up going into it regardless, so I'm actually going to quick prayer Machina and make sure I have more turns. But I think I should have plenty even without that. Well, Machina is almost maxed on buffs. Okay, so we've got that. BT effect up. Alright, let's go ahead and quick prayer Machina, and it should add an extra turn onto him. Yep. Okay, and then I think, yeah, let's just start energy healing. And that'll probably end by... And this is something you could do if this was an actual fight. What you could do is swap out for like a friend Kane or another off-turn or like Yang. I think Yang could be really good. Because you're going to find with the FR, Machina, he be doing some crazy things the way his is set up. We'll go through it in a second, but we're going to see some insanity here. Machina was a character I was like, I might skip. I got Garland, Renault. Like, I got all the craziness, right? Ooh, hold on. Do I have to LD again to get to it? Let's start with energy heal and see if we can't just sneak in there close enough. I think we might have enough. Okay, that should be good. Because the attack should do it, but we'll AA just to make sure. Yeah, now we're good. Okay. And then I think we'll end with the EX. Make sure we have weakness damage on top of everything else we're doing, right? All right, let's get ready with our boy Machina. So, what I'm going... Now, this won't be like the optimal like force setup. You want to set up like different turn counts, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to hop into it like right away. Oh, we haven't even done Cyclone Drive, which I might... Okay, I'm going to explain Cyclone Drive, because the way Machina works is once you ramp into this, you're just HP plus attacking. So let me explain Cyclone Drive, which is the 35. The thing that's really cool about it is it's an instant break. So that is another cool tech that he has, is just legit instant break. So no matter what their brave is, they're going to instantly get broken. Even if you're doing ones to them, doesn't matter. That can actually be very useful. And then on Cyclone Drive, he brave gains, but this scales on attack. So some of his brave gain he's scaling on attack is why I was emphasizing the attack was so important. Because any brave gain for this guy is going to be really huge with all the attacks he's doing, right? But otherwise, that's it. It doesn't have any buffs attached to it or anything. So literally, Cyclone Drive, you just use it as a filler attack or when you want an instant break. So that's actually not too bad that we're not really showing that here. And then as AA, that will just refresh that Awakening buff that we talked about at the beginning. That's from his spammable skill. But yeah, let's pop the BT right away. So let's do this. All right. So let's talk about... I got to see the damage here first, you guys, and then I'll tell you what it does. Illuminating the Future. Yeah, we got the weakness damage. We got the heavy prayer. Oh my god, this guy's going to be crazy. Alright, what is this going to do? We're not even like in force time yet. How much? Oh, they didn't even like show me the end numbers. It was a chunk. We'll just assume that was at least a mil plus AoE. It's probably like 1.5 or something, but they didn't like show me the nice numbers at the end, so I couldn't really catch it. Alright, so BT effect with Machina is uber important to him looking very good, right? So it did the big AoE attack, but the big thing is, alright, so he's going to get some buffs with it. So he's going to get like an HP damage up. Now this is a stacking buff as well. So like to play this guy optimally, you kind of want to like get the stacks up, then go into force, go into, you know, BT, whatever. But like we're just going to kind of roll with it right now. But with his stacks, he gets an HP damage up that increases from 10-20 to 30%, HP damage limit from 10-20 to 30, and then an overflow that goes 10-20 or 30%, right? So... and it actually goes higher if you have the BT plus and you have Awakening, all that stuff, right? But Furious Blade's Burst is the big bad boy you're going to be seeing, which is just going to do a ton of damage, and it extends his buffs too, which is really, really good, because you can keep spamming it and then keep your buffs extended, which is crazy. So let's go into this bad boy's force time. Let's do it. Now this I've never seen before. Oh, with Kane. Nice. How much damage are we going to do here? And how bad are these guys going to just pop? Alright. Wow, 2.5 mil AoE. That's one of the bigger just FR button presses I've seen in this game. 2.5 mil AoE. That was significant. We will just say that was significant. And then, which buff is about to fall? Yeah, Oath of Absolute Defense is about to fall off, so we definitely want to just go Burst Phase. And then we're just going to start going ham here with our boy Machina. And let me talk about the FR, though. Hold up. Oh, we got to talk about the FR. So it did that ridiculous AoE attack that we saw of 2.5 mil, right? Now, the Force Time effect is crazy, because the party HP damage and limit is 50% up on melee attacks. 50% HP damage limit up. That is crazy. And then his percent gains, right? So 15% if you do abnormal turn rate. So what this means is if you do an attack that is either instant turn rate, high turn rate, or even lowers your own turn rate, as long as it's an attack that isn't just a standard like you take your next turn when you take your turn, it's going to do 15%, okay? In Machina, if we look at his kit really quick, his 15 is an instant, his LD is an instant, so those would qualify. His special HP plus, which is the big thing we're going to be doing, is a high turn rate, which is really important. So his transformed HP attacks are high turn rate, which is really, really important. And actually, if you do it against a broken target, it becomes instant turn rate, which is kind of crazy. Which is kind of crazy. So like even if you're not in burst phase, you can still kind of spam it, right? And then, if you do a transformed Braver HP command, it's 40%. So that's what you want to use, this Furious Blade's Burst, which you'll see on my screen. That is the special attack we get from the BT effect. And then here's the kicker. This is the part that got me so excited about this guy. It's 5% for any melee attack, and 25% if it's Machina. This includes off turn. So what that means is you can bring like Core and Yang or Kane, or Machina himself, all the spirals, linchpins, his counters, they're going to do 25 off turn. So I think Ultimisia is going to melt. Now against Ultimisia, I'll probably include Gladio in the party, and he's melee as well. Just because I want to make sure I live. That's a very dangerous fight. But if you put like a safe tank like Gladio with him, like you can go into these aggressive fights and we'll see Machina counter. So keep your eye out. I'm definitely going to do a showcase of that. I might even record it right after this. I'm pretty hyped. But let's check out Fierce Blade's Burst and let's look at the HP gains as we do it. So here it is. This is what this guy's all about, is this attack right here. And we've got Core going crazy. And this is why you want all the Brave gains. Look, we're sitting at like Cap Brave every time we come out of this. And the Linchpin follow-up. That was 4 mil. And that was like beginning of Force Time. Like, we haven't even gotten into it yet. Let's do it again. And once again, this is not optimized. You normally like will get the BTFX stacks up first. You want to go into like when you're in Force, you want to go into your burst phase when you're at like 7 or 6 turns, so that you're really getting the heavy damage on this, right? Let's do another one. And this is where Machina gets 20% warning, of course. You got to have the 20% warning. But this is where the insane damage comes. It's from this. And you see it's so tied to the BT. That's why it's important that he's a high invest. 8 mil already. 8 mil. How? I mean, we should be able to. I feel like they're going to survive like at least through the burst phase. But we're going to see. It's a lot of damage we're dumping out here. Because we're adding the Core follow-ups and the Spiral Linchpin's going crazy, right? 10 mil with 3 mil splash. All right, let's hit up the other guy a little bit. Okay. This is kind of crazy. I hope that they survive because I want to do some attacks coming out as well. 88%. I wasn't even paying attention. But yeah, 88% a shot. That's pretty ridiculous. This is crazy damage. Like the numbers coming out of these guys. I don't think they're going to survive. That was a 15 mil with a 4.5 mil splash. And we just even these guys out. Let's see. Jeez. They might just die right here. It would be nice to get at least one more attack after this. But I think they're going to die right here. I think this is like 20%. That was that 15 mil AoE? I think that was... We just did a 100 mil burst there, by the way. Very easily. They're at 1%. They barely survived. Okay. And then Machina, sure, let's finish with a Furious Blades burst. I knew we weren't going to be able to finish this Force Time because it's crazy. Yeah, pretty insane. Pop. Yeah, 19 mil with 5 mil splash. We still have like 2 more turns coming. So anyways, guys, there you go. Machina's crazy. Now, I know as excited as I am about him, because I am. He's not a must pull. Like, you can live without Machina. And once again, if you're low on like BT resources and like FR, like, don't stress about getting this guy. This is a guy though, like, don't half-ass it. Like, if you're going for Machina, you gotta go full build, green that BT. So if you can't do that and you're not willing to do that, just skip them. You're fine. You probably have Jack Garland, Tifa Manoa. You're going to be good. But we're going to check this guy out in Ultimisia. So look forward to that video maybe coming tomorrow. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch y'all on the next one.